Welcome back to ITS 129. Let's talk a little bit about multi-table queries. Again, we'll be using the Henry database. So if you don't have it installed, don't forget that it's available to you, right? You can go ahead and copy that and paste that in. And I also have what is known as a schema. A schema is how the databases, the tables are related to one another, right? How they're related to one another. Now, in every database, you should be well familiar with every field and every field name and how it relates to how they're related in a relational database, right? By the way, we're working with relational databases, Access, MySQL, SQL Server, those kind of things. But the term relational has nothing to do with what you're seeing here now, okay? Even though they're relationships. Again, relational is a mathematical basis, has a mathematical basis in relational algebra. Okay, so let's see how we do this assignment, yeah? So again, I provided this so you know how they're related by, by field names, right? And when you do your queries in multiple tables, like you're doing it across like this, what you're trying to do is you're trying to see, how they're related to each other and from where you can get the data from, yeah? So let's go and see. So I have my Henry. And I see my Henry, and my Henry has all those tables, right? My schema, so you can see that over there, yeah. And I have my questions over here. So it says, for each book, list a book title, publisher code, and publisher's name. Book title, publisher. So the unfortunate thing about that is that the book title, and the publisher name are in two different tables. Right? So as you do that query, you have to keep that in mind. Yeah, so I'm going to do the first one, right? Again, it says the book title, the publisher code, and the publisher's name. So in that query, I click on the SQL code over here, and I have to go over here and say what I'm going to get, right? Select, okay, title. Okay, and I'm going to show you there's a difference here now. Publisher name. Yeah, what was that name of that? Publisher underscore name, yeah. Okay, publisher underscore name. And it says publisher code. From, okay. So, it looks like, from what we've been doing so far, right? And I'm going to just kind of put in the next line over here. Otherwise it's going to get long. You can't put in one line if you wanted to. Book, publisher, right? I have to say what tables they're from. Book, publisher, right? Okay. Now, here's a problem when you're working with, when you're working with multiple tables. You see that publisher code is shared by two tables of here. In fact, that's where we're going to make the relationship. That's where we're going to make the join, right? So when it's like this, you have to state from which table you're picking from. Now, in this case, it really doesn't matter which one, but you have to pick one. And if there's a publisher code number 1 here, and a publisher code number 1 here, it will match and it will be able to get the information for publisher code number 1 from both tables. So I have to define it. So how I'm going to do it, you can pick one or the other now. Publisher dot, right? Publisher code. Now, in theory, you're supposed to do it with all the fields, right? Okay. Okay, publisher dot, like this. And book, right? That's where it comes from, right? In theory, you're supposed to do it this way. But what SQL allows is that as long as it's unique. So title is in only the book table, and not in the publisher table, right? Publisher name is only in the publisher table, and not in the book table. So as long as it's unique with the join, you don't have to do that. It's good practice that you do. Then I say what I want to find, and this is very important when you're working with multiple table queries. Yeah, I'm going to type in book publisher code is equal to publisher dot publisher code. Very important that you spell it correctly, like this, right? Okay, so again, that's because that's where I'm putting the link. So when you're working with multiple table queries, this is probably the most important part, right? The where statement. So I'm going to just copy this because I'm going to be using it in my thing later. So then I'm going to go and run it. And I should be able to find all my data, right? So the title and who the publisher is and the publisher code. By the way, the publisher codes are TBFA, you know, so you better make sure that you take a look at the publisher code. So I'm gonna, I'm gonna do that in my notepad, right? Notepad, and then I'm gonna go --1, right? I'm gonna paste that in just to make sure that I got it. Let me do couple. I'm gonna do maybe about 4 for this assignment, right? So the second one is like this. It says, for each book, list the book code, title, and current inventory on hand. Inventory, let's go see. Inventory on for every book. And, oh boy, I'm working with 3 tables over here. Okay, so I'm sorry, no, just the inventory and the book. Doesn't ask me about publisher name, yeah? Let's see that again. List the book, code, and title, and the inventory. So I'm only working with these 2, inventory and book, right? Okay, so let's go do it. I'm going to go ahead and do an SQL select, and it says code, title, and inventory. Code, okay, so again, it's book code, title, and on hand. How many books there is, right? And on hand. Now again, if you're going to, and we're going to do from book and inventory. Yeah. So again, if there are any fields that are, shared the same, or you're going to, has the same information, then, at least the same title, then you have to go ahead and make sure that you tell it which one. Again, it doesn't really matter, but you got to pick one. So this time I'm just going to put book code. And here, again, you don't have to do this one, but it's good practice. And I do inventory. Yeah, and like this, right? Again, I have to do the where statement. The where statement, very important. And I say book code is equal to inventory book code, semicolon, right? Okay, that looks right. So I'm going to see what the book code is, what the title is, and how much you got on hand. So I'm going to copy this, so I lose it. I'm going to run it. Oh, there you go. This is my books, and this is how many books I got, how many on hand right here. So I come back to my Notepad++, and I'm going to go and paste it in. Now I'm going to do number 6, --6. And 6, it goes into a little bit different concept here. Okay, so I'm going to come back over here and go back to 6. So you must use an alias. Okay, you must use an alias. Okay, so, and it says over here, for each book, list the book title, branch, and branch name. So I'm going to say, oh, I got to go through 3 three tables over here: book, title, branch number, and branch name. So because I have to go to the inventory, I have to make sure I include this table now. Okay, and even though I'm not necessarily going to use this branch num I'm using over here, I do have to go and do that. Okay. Okay. Book, inventory, branch. Okay, so let's go do it. So it says, okay, I'm going to do an SQL, and I'm going to do a select, and it says it wants list the book title. By the way, number 6 and number 5 are the same. It's just that number 6 we're using an alias, so that's a hint. So I'm actually giving you another one here. Yeah. So title, branch num, branch name. Yeah. And then select title, branch num, comma, branch name, right? Is that right? Branch name, branch num. Okay, good. Okay, then I have to go and say where I'm getting it from. Now I'm going across 3 tables: inventory, comma, book, and branch. Now again, I have to do this guy over here. I have to do book, and I have to do one of these. I can say inventory, and I misspelled it. Inventory and branch. Right? I can say this right over here. Now, here's the thing about an alias. An alias is really just a shortcut. Now, here's an unfortunate thing about it. Once you declare it, you have to use it all the way through. By the way, I'm going to do my where statement, and I'm going to show you where inventory. Oh, sorry. I'm gonna start from the bottom. I'm going to start this way. I'm going to do this way. The order doesn't matter, right? So I'm going to come in over here. I'm going to say book code is equal to inventory. It's trying to help you. Inventory. See how it's trying to help you? You can just kind of click at this one here. Dot book code. See? And inventory. What is that? Inventory branch num dot branch num is equal to branch dot branch num semicolon. Okay, this is number 5 now. This is the answer to number 5. Aliases. Again, aliases is kind of like a shortcut. So, but once you use it, you have to use it all the way through. So here I'm going to say inventory as I, and I'm going to do book as B, K. And the reason why is because I have a branch over here, so I'm going to do it as BR, right? Once you declare it, you have to use it. So I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to do like this, and I'm going to get rid of it. Yeah. And instead of branch, I'm going to just say a BR like this, right? Now, you notice I haven't done it here. Yeah. It's going to give me an error message because once you declare it, you have to use it throughout. I'm going to copy, and I'm going to go error message. The reason why is because once you declare it, you have to use it throughout. So I'm going to change all of this, correct it. Again, correct it. And now I'm using the aliases, right? So the alias is just a shortcut so that you don't have to keep on typing everything all the way through. So this is good. So I'm going to copy this, and then I'm going to go. And I got my, yeah. So let me go put that in over there. This is 6. And again, the hint is, it was what I showed you earlier was number 5, right? So, you know, you should be able to figure out the rest of this assignment. Yeah, you should be able to figure out the rest. The where statement, very important. And when you're working across many tables, don't forget to go ahead and do that. Okay.